We are ready.
Hola a todos, estoy aquí para comunicaros que
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leymans, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Ready? Play. Ready? Play.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to WTA Watch Along with Coco, Gauff, and Barbora Krejcikova. And I'm joined here by the Matt Johns. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? It's nice to finally do a stream with you.
Yeah, it's been a while, I think.
Yeah.
So.
It's definitely going to be an interesting match. It's the last match of the round robin stage, and there's still a lot to play for.
Yeah, a lot to play for indeed. Because if Gauff wins, Iga Świątek is through to the semis. But if Krejcikova wins, then she goes through. So, and
Yeah.
I think the scenarios are interesting because Gauff would win the group, if she wins the match, but loses, or if she loses in 3, so she would top the group no matter what, really, at this point. But
Yeah, and I think
Krejcikova would win the group if she won it in straights, so then that would change her semifinal lineup.
Yeah, and I think that's important for Świątek, that Gauff still does have something to fight for, and it keeps kind of a bit of an incentive in the match. I know she's a professional, but just a human being, and having that incentive to win the group is big for both Gauff and Świątek, I think.
Yeah.
But it's definitely going to be an interesting match. It's obviously their second meeting, as it says on there. The only previous, I believe, was at Roland Garros, the year that Krejcikova won the tournament. So it's hard to read too much into that.
Yeah, for sure. So Coco is serving first. Yeah, these are the scenarios as John has on the screen. Yeah, kind of an interesting one. Krejcikova was a bit of a mystery coming into the tournament, of course. It only played like 2 matches since Wimbledon, basically. And obviously she's outside the top 10, as most of her points have just come from that one result in quarterfinals of Australia. And yeah, she has a chance to make it out of the group.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people going into that Pegula match thought that it was Krejcikova who had the injury struggles and might be the one to be the one pulling out, but it was actually Pegula who ended up withdrawing from the event, and Kazatkina took her place, which didn't go so well, unfortunately, for Kazatkina. But yeah, Louis asking in the chat, can Iga win this group? No, she can't. She can only come second.
Yeah. She, at this point, yeah, can only be second in the group. Can't.
I'm just gonna ignore that comment in the chat from our producer. It's a dig at my football team, and we're gonna put that to one side. But I'm also interested to know your, like, going back to the tennis, about the perspective on the, I suppose, the permutations. Do you like that it's, because I believe it goes obviously match wins and then it goes to set wins. Personally, I think I'd rather it go straight to head first, but I don't know how you see it.
Yeah, head to head is usually the one that's like if everything else is equal, then they look at it, right? It's like usually, match wins and then sets and then games and then head to head. So yeah, in that situation, I feel like then what this does is like every single game feels really important because like like even the margin that you win by feels really big.
That's
Especially
true.
if you have like let's say you have 3 players that go 1 and 2 in the group, which is very much possible. Then it's like who actually goes through. And then like head to head can be like the deciding factor, like their previous matchups. So I like it the way it is, but I know some people don't. So
yeah, it's interesting because I know it's not like everyone likes this rule, everyone likes the other. It suits some people, it doesn't suit others. I don't know if the ATP finals are the same. I always forget which one's which because there are a few round robin events.
Yeah, somebody's asking about the doubles. I think Townsend and Siniakova. That would be my pick right now. I just think they're really good. They won all their 3 matches. They won Wimbledon this year as well. They just complement each other pretty well. And yeah, I think that would be my pick if I had to choose right now. But
yeah, I believe they and Routliffe and Dabrowski both won all 3 of their group matches, and I think it's hard to put past Siniakova and Townsend. Siniakova is pretty much good with anyone, and Townsend is a really, really good doubles player herself. So as a team, it just seems to work.
Indeed. We also still have Irani and Paulini alive, so that's also a nice story.
Yeah.
I think they'd actually play each other in the semis. Paulini or Irani and Siniakova Townsend, which should be really good. The gold medal champs against the Wimbledon champs.
Yeah.
Coco did hold, by the way, so but Krejcikova with a good start to her service game. Yeah, Siniakova is incredibly versatile. Like she has such good hands at the net. She's like just reads the game so well. Like complements pretty much any partner that's alongside her. Yeah. So fast start by Krejcikova. Nice ace out wide. She does get the hold. Of course, Gauff comes in as a
yeah. As you said about Siniakova, Siniakova has also been confirmed to end the year as world number 1 in doubles. I believe for the 4th time, I think.
Yeah, wow.
Which is really good.
Interesting match psychologically as well for Gauff because she knows that she's through and she's obviously going to want to give 100% no matter what. But sometimes that third match when you know that you're through is kind of tricky mentally. To be
And do you think obviously yesterday with Sabalenka and Rybakina was effective? It was a dead rubber. And do you think had that match been alive, do you think the outcome could have been different?
Hard to say because I think Rybakina has been turning around the head-to-head nicely since the 2023 Australian Open final.
Yeah.
Like it has been, she is one of those few players who can really trouble Sabalenka and put her on the back foot immediately. But I did kind of think the third set like went away really quickly for Sabalenka, and when she kind of went down the early break and lost like 10 points in a row, it's kind of hard to like for her to like muster the, like 150% all out approach to like try to come back from there.
Yeah.
But I think it was definitely a good match for like 2 sets, and start of the third was interesting, and then like Rybakina kind of ran away with it. But good for Rybakina to kind of come in and finish her season off with a win.
Yeah, it was nice to like finish on a high note after a tricky few months. But I suppose what Gauff has that Sabalenka doesn't have is the incentive to win a set. So therefore, she may as well just go and try and win the match and put everything into it. Because I believe that as much as she will believe she can beat Sabalenka, Zheng is definitely the favourable semi-final.
Yeah, she'll definitely want to play Zhang still, for sure.
Which would obviously create a potential. If Gauff does win this match, it creates a Sabalenka-Swiatek semi-final, which I think for the second year running, but in very different situation.
Yeah, I guess third year as well, because 2022 semi-final was won by Sabalenka.
Of course, yeah.
Last year was won by Iga. So
yeah,
3 years in a row, the current top 2 of the WTA are going to be in a semi-final potentially here. Of course, now we have the year-end number 1 locked up already for Arena, so there's not that to play for. But obviously, the rivalry is trying to get a win and getting to the final as well. So still pretty high stakes.
Yeah, definitely. On my screen, just showing that Norrie is into the Mets semi-finals. I couldn't tell what was happening. There was a bit of a conversation at the net again with his opponent, a different opponent this time, but it seemed a bit more positive than his altercation with Bayana the other day.
Yeah. They definitely exchanged a few words after the handshake, and Carballo's Bayana wasn't happy with Norrie celebrating and saying "vamos." Yeah. But yeah, Cam is in the semis and he's playing against Mute, so that's not going to be one where he'll have the crowd on his side, for sure.
No, it's a different prospect playing Mute in France than anywhere else.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a chance. It's just whether he could. I think he could probably cope with the opposing crowd against him.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still on serve here.
Yeah.
2-1 Gauff.
So far, both these women are serving pretty well. They have a decently high first serve percentage, and Turner hasn't gotten that many looks. But still very early.
I mean, 3 aces for Gauff in those first 2 games is definitely, it's always handy when you've got that in your locker. And I think serve has actually been a pretty big weapon at this tournament so far. I think it's fairly quick service. Obviously, it's indoor, which always makes the serve more impactful.
Yeah, definitely. I think especially if you hit your spots, you take off some of the speed, but you hit like your slider out wide, or you hit the location. It's tough for. You will get rewarded. I mean, there's also altitude as well, so it certainly helps out pretty much everybody, I would think, by a little bit. Oh, I think Turin is actually faster. I mean, Turin is like lightning quick. Riyadh is pretty quick, but I think also it takes the high bounce, it takes the spin. It's not like so insanely quick compared to. I saw Ellen Perez say that Cincinnati she thinks is faster, just like pure speed wise. So.
Yeah, I believe Alcaraz or Juan Carlos Ferrero had installed Turin-like courts for Alcaraz to practice on.
Yeah,
he's not particularly enjoyed the fast surfaces recently.
Yeah, no, he was very shocked at the surface speed in Paris.
Yeah.
especially because it's been much slower usually in the past, and then now it plays a lot more like Turin this year. I think 45 plus CPI. So
another very comfortable hold this time for Krejcikova, 2-all.
Yeah. Really fascinating that they haven't played each other in almost 4 years, or 3.5 years, I guess. Gauff was only 17 at the time, the quarterfinals of the French Open.
Especially due to have those head-to-heads where you assume they've played on multiple occasions and they actually have only met once or sometimes never, but this is their first meeting in 3 years. Well, 3.5 years, really.
Yeah. Yeah, this time Krejcikova was able to put Gauff on the back foot, so she does get the first point in the service game. I might be kind of behind. I'm only at love 15.
Yeah, so am I.
Okay, cool. So I think we're both kind of on the same point. Yeah, Gauff's backhand, of course, such a big weapon for her. And the forehand has certainly looked better since she's brought on Matt Daly. She'd be kind of going after it a little bit more and gets in position with it faster. It's the second serve, mostly, that's been kind of up and down for her. But in this tournament, it's been pretty rock solid, I would say. Except for the ego match at times in the second set. She did double fault 9 times. But she did hold, one of the times that she double faulted 3 times in the game. And it hasn't seemed to, kind of have that carryover effect the rest of the game. I remember also her Wuhan match, the semifinal match against Sabalenka in Wuhan, where she hit 20 plus double faults, but was so good off the ground.
And that's it. Gauff really probably should have beaten Sabalenka, but unravelled, particularly the serve. And she'll obviously know that she has the weapon to beat Sabalenka, but also knows that Sabalenka can really capitalise better than any other player in this draw if she does unravel.
Yeah. This is a big point, though, here. 30-all. Krejcikova really bossing control of this one. Moving Gauff side to side, getting her out of position, and then hitting the backhand on a line winner.
Very well played from Krejcikova for the first break point of this match.
Yes, indeed. When Krejcikova is really feeling it and her timing is good, I mean, watch out, because takes the ball so early and just so good at maneuvering it around the court, redirecting with it, stepping in, especially with that backhand. She kind of holds to the last second, so you're not sure where it's going to go. It's pretty hard to.
Yeah, she's a very clever player.
Yeah,
and I would definitely say she's a big event player as well. She definitely produces the best tennis for the bigger tournaments.
For sure.
But definitely a nightmare for the predictions.
Oh, yeah.
A producer back in you saying that Turin is definitely the quicker of the final surfaces.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, okay, this time Gauff was really on the back foot there, trying to loop the forehand, but misses it in the net. Good depth from Krejcikova to push Gauff back. My feeling is that Sabalenka will go first tomorrow. To answer that question, just because she played yesterday, and the winner of this match probably needs a little more rest.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Gauff, yeah, that was definitely an unforced error on the forehand from her, and she gets broken. Yeah, that was a little bit of a tough game for her. She saved the first break point, but couldn't get out of it. Krejcikova obviously pretty sharp so far. Held it love in the first game. She's really kind of come out with her good timing so far. Held it love, held it 15, and then gets a break.
Yeah, it's bad news for Iga so far, says our producer. But still a very long way to go.
Yeah, and of course, remember, if Krejcikova wins this match in straight sets, she does top the group.
Yeah, which would be a real surprise, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, she was kind of the dark horse, didn't actually qualify as one of the top 8, but took advantage of this new rule as the Wimbledon champion.
Yes, John, I also had the same. I had Iga and Pegula emerging from the group as well. And that was mostly due to Gauff's head-to-heads with both Pegula and Świątek. But of course, we both failed to realize that Pegula is actually injured. So, and that does really explain her performances to me at this event.
Yeah, I think it surprised a lot of people, but it will kind of make sense now.
Yes, especially because I was watching those matches wondering, like, she does look like a full step slow to me, and she doesn't really look, she looks very lethargic and flat and isn't really, finding her timing, which I could get to the first match, but then like the second match, and as soon as she kind of got something going, she never really, like, she was very erratic from the baseline. And that's usually very unlike her. Like, she's very steady. She's going to make you beat her. So
yeah, I'd say she's probably one of the last players you'd associate those traits with.
Yeah. There we go for the scenarios again. So if Krejcikova does win this in straights, then we do have that Sabalenka versus Gauff semi. Krejcikova versus Zhang. But actually, if Krejcikova does win in 2, yeah, that will be interesting to see who they put first. Because, they would, because Gauff and Krejcikova are both playing their match right now, so one of them will have to go first in that case.
Yeah, I don't know if one's a favourable slot, really.
Yeah. Also, the semis are like back to back, like right after one each other tomorrow, and they do start a little bit later than the matches happen this week. Oh, Krejcikova going for the drop shot, but it just floated it a little bit too much at 30 love. Gauff really quick to get up to that.
I think with Gauff, you've got to get those drop shots pretty much perfect, and I think that was perhaps a little obvious.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, Gauff missing a makeable first serve return. Krejcikova definitely took a lot out of that off that serve, which she sometimes can do, so she can get the angle. A couple of game points, but yeah, basically my overall takeaway so far is Barbora is very come out of the gates playing some really good stuff.
Yeah, this is kind of similar to how she was playing in the open set and a half against Świątek.
Yes, he was up 6-4, 3-love, double break.
Yeah.
In that match.
How things could have been different had she just got the job done there, then she'd definitely be through.
I know.
That's tennis.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, second serve here at game point to hold for 4-2.
Taking it a while to serve here. both first and second serve.
Ooh, but Gauff will not be happy with that return. I mean, of course, there was a lot of time in between serves as well, so I think definitely maybe.
There's at least 2 returns in that game, which kind of were there for her to hit, but both forehands went into the net.
Yeah. Gauff so far not looking as calm as she was the first couple of matches. A few gestures towards her box in that game. Oh wow, I think Krejcikova made that return. Wow. Not much you can do there. Just hit basically the back of the baseline.
Yeah.
Gauff applauds.
And although things are going well for Krejcikova, she could probably do it up in that first serve percentage if our screen is correct, because when she is getting the first serve in, it's winning 88% of points.
Yeah, she does get the ace in the next point.
6 aces now for Gauff.
Not very often that you hit 6 aces when you're down a break.
No.
She gets another, so make that 7.
Unless that was the 6th, then I
guess that was the 6th, yeah.
Caught the score.
Google scores is a bit ahead of us.
Yes, yeah.
Well.
But again, I suppose it's interesting that Gauff has the higher first serve percentage, but actually has the lower win rate despite hitting 6 aces. Significantly lower than Krejcikova as well.
Especially like that forehand return so far, Krejcikova was really kind of on it.
Yeah.
I think she knows as well that Gauff likes that serve on the deuce side, and she generally hits a good return when she's in that position. I even see Krejcikova sort of like going towards the side a little bit, like kind of leaving the middle open, like daring Gauff to go down the tee.
Yeah, it's a risk.
Oh, and he gets the double fault. But I think that's only her.
I think that's the first.
With the match, so.
Yeah. But it's just whether it opens Krejcikova up possibly to have a chance for a double break.
Yeah. Another second serve here. Yeah, Krejcikova just again like such good timing, like just connecting on that second serve return, going inside in with it, and then just that backhand
is so controlled.
Yeah. Krejcikova also grew up playing, like most of the Czech players, a ton indoors, of course. And most of the players are just really good indoors, I find, from the Czech Republic. I mean, they're just really good in general, but I feel like indoors as well.
Yeah, I think because Krejcikova obviously won, I can think it was back-to-back a couple of years ago in Ostrava and Tallinn. That really good final against Fiontek.
Yeah. Definitely one of the best matches that year.
Yeah.
Of course, she's beaten Iga in 2 finals, so.
Yeah, well, I think she was the one to really break through because Iga had such a strong record in finals and still does, but it's definitely become less strong since Krejcikova's been playing her.
Yeah.
Dubai as well last year.
Yeah. 21-4 in finals is really awesome, but 2 of those defeats, just came to Krejcikova in that 4-month span.
And that's the thing, when Krejcikova does make those finals, I find it hard to go against her now. So it was the same as Wimbledon, but it's just actually predicting her to get to that final. Nice forehand there.
Yeah, it's the return that really just puts you on the back feet, and you just can't really recover fast enough. So Gauff is being made to work to try to hold on to her avoid going down a double break. Nice first serve there, though, down the tee. Krejcikova is one of those players that's pretty hard to predict. So, like even within the same match, she can kind of just go up and down. So, Gauff has to make sure that she keeps within touching distance because anything is really possible here. Oh, nice. Forehand approach winner by Coco of the slice. Krejcikova also has that extra variation sometimes with the backhand slice. Keep it really, really low and then kind of just keeps her opponent guessing.
Yeah. And I suppose for Gauff, just keeping it close, it allows her to, just have that chance of winning this first set. Because I would be surprised if this first set wasn't the main incentive for Gauff, because you get the first set, you've topped the group, and then you can kind of relax a bit and play that second set with more freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the sort of differences that round robin brings up.
Yeah, exactly. And we have seen many times that you can go 2-1 in the group and just not come out, I guess it does happen frequently, especially when you're in a group with 3 players that are pretty competitive against each other, and then one player who maybe doesn't do as well. Then you're left with these scenarios.
Just on the screen, previewing a later show, talking about the ATP finals. I think that get underway on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday, I believe.
Sunday. The draw was done today.
Yeah. So we learned that we will now have a Sinner versus Alcaraz match within the group stages. So, but of course they could play each other in the semis and the final.
And of course we've got Sinner and Medvedev for the 3,000th time this year.
Exactly, yeah. They just can't avoid each other.
No, we should have just pretty much booked it in rather than having the draw.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also WTA Weekly on Sunday with Renee Stubbs. That should be fun.
Yes, I assume a lot of talk about the finals this week, who will be a champion crowned at that point.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like, okay, yeah, they're changing the balls because 7 games in now. Something wrong with the balls, though. There appears to be a discussion between Krejcikova and the umpire about.
Yes, it's been quite a while.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like they got it sorted. So, new balls. Krejcikova serving. Yeah, nice combination there from Krejcikova.
Yeah, she's very, I think, patient, but in the best way possible. She really works the point to get herself into a position where she knows she's got the winner on her racket.
No, just playing really good first strike tennis as well. Just behind the first serve, just being really aggressive with her third shot. Keeping Gauff guessing, you really feel like, Gauff is one of those players who anticipates really well against most players, and that's one of her strengths. You can read the game and just kind of anticipate your next move. But against Krejcikova, that's so hard because she holds her ground strokes until the last second. And
yeah, it's
And Gauff doesn't really have a feel for her patterns because they haven't played in so long. And whereas
it's just so interesting to see some of Krejcikova's results since the whole year and since Wimbledon. I think comparing it to this, and it's just like, why does her level dip so much? I mean, she's had injuries, but I don't think it's just on that.
yeah, no, I think between Australian Open and Wimbledon, she definitely struggled with injury for a few tournaments, and then then she kind of lost those really close matches early rounds, wasn't getting any wins. And then, it almost happened at Wimbledon because in the first round she played Veronika Kudermetova. It was a really, really messy match from both players.
Yeah.
Just very, very nervy. Both players really needed a win because they weren't having a great season. And yeah, once she got out of that match, I mean, boy, did she relax for the next few rounds.
Oh yeah, because I was there when she was, I think, playing Katie Volley-Nets in the second round, and not 1 second did I think, oh, there's the Wimbledon champion. Like, it didn't even cross my mind, but you just could never go against Krejcikova.
You can't, yeah. And then there was that fourth round against Danielle Collins, and at that point I was thinking, oh wow, like if she's in the fourth round now, I mean, watch out. I don't think I would have picked her to win though, because I still wasn't sure about the Rybakina semifinal.
Yeah, I think many people assumed Rybakina was going to win, but I think maybe we should have all known when that tweet was out saying that whoever played Kudermetova in the first round was going to win Wimbledon.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there is still that.
I don't think I'd ever shut up about that tweet if I posted it.
Yeah, I guess Kudermetova has now lost to the eventual winner 2 Wimbledons in a row. So maybe next year we should watch out for that.
Juice on Krejcikova's surface, so will Gauff get that break back?
There's that
Not
point
like
of juice here where Krejcikova on that forehand and kind of on the back foot, but didn't maintain her acceleration. Perhaps a little bit rushed, but
yeah.
Krejcikova also hits pretty flat, straight through the court, but it's kind of. But then she mixes it up with those lower balls. I mean, yeah, another forehand there. Gauff just trying to step in.
Krejcikova's just keeping it rolling, moving one game closer to the first set, and Gauff's now got to stay in it.
No.
Yeah, and see Ortega in the chat saying that Krejcikova is one of their favourite players, but it's, I suppose, frustrating. But she does have that giant killer mentality, and it always does show up against the best players.
Yeah, I mean, for a while she wasn't on anyone's radar when it came to singles because she was always been an awesome doubles player. But 2021 she made the Dubai final, and lost to Muguruza, and I think the year before she also made the fourth round of Roland Garros. But apart from those two results, she was not on anyone's radar as a top 20 singles player. But of course, since then, a lot changed.
Our producer's asking, has she ever played San Diego? Did she win San Diego? Or
yes. Producer's trying to get that out of me.
Oh.
Yes.
I've fallen for that.
She won San Diego last year, actually. She beat Canada in the final. So, I like to joke that she has 3 majors. But yes, she won the famous surfboard.
Yeah, because San Diego tournament, has that been moved this year?
Yeah, it was when the year that Krejcikova won it was in the fall. It was the week after the US Open in 2023 in September. But I mean, now they've moved it right before Indian Wells, which is pretty convenient.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it'll stay there on the calendar for as long as it can. It'll be like that in 2025 as well. So Good preparation for some of the players who lose early in the Middle East as well to get over there early. Play a
Yeah,
different game
definitely.
here.
I was about to ask who won this year, but of course it was Katie Bolter.
Yes.
How could I forget?
Katie Bolter against Marta Kostyuk.
Yes.
And then we did also have Navarro and Pagula getting to the semis. And lo and behold, they also made the Final Four of the US Open. So well,
Gauff holding there, meaning that Krejcikova does have to serve this first set out, which has held strong so far, but it does feel as though Gauff's been getting closer in the last couple of games.
yeah, it is reminding me a little bit of that Iga first round in the sense, just
Yeah.
like that one break earlier on in the set, Krejcikova riding it. But, in that match, Iga had like a 15-30. She missed an easy forehand. Would have given her 2 break points. She doesn't win that game, and then she goes down double break in the second, and then, kind of finds her range. Krejcikova goes off the boil, and then we have a completely different match.
Yeah.
So,
suppose-
super. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I suppose Iga will be wanting that this time. She'll be wanting Gauff to make a fight back.
Yeah. No, Dave, I did not work for a ball person, but I have been a media person at the San Diego tournament now for like 3 of the 4 years that it's been held. But I haven't actually worked at the tournament, like when it comes to volunteering or anything like that. Yes, I did do stats in Cincy for Tennis TV. So for the graphics that you see on the screen after every set, the stats, I did count every single point and labeled it as an unforced error or a forced error or, aces, etc. Just kind of making sure that every single point got logged correctly. This first point was interesting because Gauff got the backhand that she wanted. She was aggressive initially in the rally and put Krejcikova on the back foot, but missed the backhand on the line, and she's so frustrated because that's usually like her best shot, or one of her best. Definitely the backhand in general.
I suppose the only positive thing for Iga would, if I'm not qualifying for the semi-finals, would be that she's got more time to get to Malaga for the Billie Jean King Cup finals next week.
That's right. She hasn't been able to play it the last couple of years because it's been so close to the finals, and the players haven't had enough time to.
Yeah, it didn't seem like she's going to this year, but she's been made as a sort of late announcement as such.
Yeah, and they'll have a really good chance to do well there because Magdalena Freck is having a very good year, and same with Magdalena, who's always very capable of beating some good players. Okay, well, Gauff does win the next point. Does a nice job there with the forehand, actually. Krejcikova was just trying to find her right ball toss. This is definitely something that annoys Brad Gilbert whenever players catch the ball and don't hit it. He thinks that should be a fault. Personally, it doesn't bother me that much, but I know that with Krejcikova, there are some people who definitely find themselves on their phone a lot when she's trying to serve. Just put it that way. Oh, Gauff with a kind of aggressive return there on the second serve. So 15-30 finds herself in the same position as the Iga match. Oh, but this time she sprays. She gets a little bit tentative on that forehand, pushes it wide. So Gauff with 2 breakback points here. That hold at 5-3 was just very important, for her to find a way through that game. We'll see if it pays off here. Oh, but Krejcikova with just a really good serve down the tee.
Only her second ace. What a time.
So she saves one of the two.
First serve win percentage has gone down significantly in these last few games.
Yeah.
It was high 80s, I think, a couple games ago.
Second serve here. Break point. Ooh, Krejcikova trying to mix it up with a slice, but doesn't get it over the net. Tries to go down the line with it. And yeah, I gotta say a couple of loose errors from Krejcikova, but also Gauff doing a really good job with the second serve return. I noticed against Iga, she definitely felt more comfortable going back, giving herself that little bit extra time, getting the returns pretty deep down the middle. Here, Gauff chose to be a little bit more offensive, which I think is the right thing to do against Krejcikova, especially when you can rush her on the first ball. She was able to get a few more mistakes, obviously helped by Krejcikova not making enough first serves in that game. Let's see if she can hold on, though.
Gauff now just 2 games away from securing her spot on the top of the group. Yes, Swiatek will definitely be pleased after Gauff broke back there.
Yeah. Ooh. Interesting little play there. Krejcikova kind of bossing that whole rally, and then gets the overhead here, lets it bounce, comes in, and then confidently knocks out the forehand volley. So she's right back in this game at love 30 in the opening. Coco feeling the pressure on her serve. Oh, double fault. Felt like that was coming.
Yeah, to finally get that break back and now follow up with this is a big disappointment for Gauff.
Second serve again. Then Krejcikova mixing in the forehand slice, working her way back inside the point. And oh, that forehand goes way wide from Gauff. So
It's a shocker of a game from Gauff there, really.
it is, yeah. And it seemed like it happened so quickly because both games just happened so fast, right? Krejcikova went down 15-40 very quickly. Then, there was some time between the 30-40 point and the end of the game. And then this game was just very quick for Krejcikova to just pounce.
Yeah, I feel like Krejcikova, I feel like she's got a lifeline now to have a second chance to serve for this first set.
Yeah. Yeah, completely different type of matchup against Krejcikova for Gauff than the Iga one. Because they're both just very similar players, Iga and Coco in many respects, in terms of the way they construct their points and how well they both defend and move around the court. Whereas with Krejcikova, there's that little bit of kind of unpredictability, and she has a little bit more variation as well off the ground. The serve is a little bit harder to read. The ground strokes, she waits till the last second, and when she pins you back with her excellent timing, it's just tough to anticipate. So I feel like it's working in Krejcikova's favor thus far, and she was also very dangerous in a position like this where she knows she has a chance to qualify. I mean, Gauff knows that no matter what, she's through. So it's just kind of the perfect role for like Krejcikova to come in and play spoiler a little bit and mess things up, which she loves to do.
Yeah, Krejcikova smiling there, which is interesting. given the context of the match.
Yeah. Looks like she's just kind of really enjoying herself.
And our producer's been doing some reactions of what Swiatek might be feeling right now. It would never happen, but it would be interesting if they had a camera on the person who was watching, trying to see what happens if it affects their fate. It would definitely be a different dynamic.
Yeah. Well, Gauff finds the opening in the court and then hits the forehand winner to start that game. Another hit. Also hits a very good return here at love 15. Right on that. So it feels like both players are just returning so well in the last 3-4 games. Neither player can really hold on right now.
We're approaching a potential first set tiebreak.
30. That was a good serve from Krejcikova. Oh, and Gauff actually made her hit a pretty tough volley, but Krejcikova got to the net pretty quickly. Calmly dealt with this one. It was a little awkward, but it's the job done. Wow, and this time it was Gauff who took control of that rally again with a second serve. Some really good depth on that return. Pushing Krejcikova in the forehand corner. Being assertive with the forehand herself. She will like that play. So 2 break-back points.
Yeah, Gauff's definitely started to figure out this Krejcikova serve. The first few Krejcikova service games were really comfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
But now it's kind of expected to be a juice or just breaking straight away.
She's definitely reading it a bit better. Getting into these rallies.
Interesting shot selection from Krejcikova, but doesn't put it away.
She does put away the overhead at the end. Very close to the net.
Still one more break point to fend off, though.
She does make the first serve, but it was definitely a makeable return. Gauff very frustrated that she missed that backhand. She was on it. She knows that was a missed opportunity. It was pacey, but both those serves a break point down were 167, 169, and 167 Ks. Although this time she does have a second serve look, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of return comes back. Gauff choosing to be more aggressive, definitely stepping in with the backhand, which she's had some success doing, and then she sets up the overhead. And really good combination there, actually. So Gauff has made a few more backhand errors in this match, but obviously it's such a good shot for her. She can keep going after it with confidence. It's the more secure side, for sure. Breakpoint number 3.
Yes, will she take it and force a tiebreak?
Yeah, this time Krejcikova just so precise again with the backhand, like just stepping in, going line, and then gets the open court. And Gauff's speed is not going to be enough to track that one down because Just so precise. So she's saved 17 breakpoints so far in Riyadh, and she's number 1 in that category. Good composure. Oh, but this time Gauff reads that first serve return. 168 was a difficult one. She got decent depth on the forehand though, and Krejcikova couldn't get out of the way fast enough. And fourth chance for Gauff as we see that replay. Yeah, just shanking that one. Came back so quickly. Some good returning, but let's see if she can actually convert the break point here. Force the tie break. We will have a second serve here. Oh, but Gauff misses the second serve return, and that's frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, Krejcikova obviously has been very good saving break points, but
yeah,
that had not a lot to do with Krejcikova. That was really Gauff, all on Gauff.
Yeah. I mean, you can see what she was trying to do, which is get a lot of depth and air under that forehand, but just to overhit it.
This game's been over 7 minutes. This game has been.
Yeah.
Real important game.
Putting everything into this game because it's really pivotal for the outcome of the match and the groups. Oh my. Yeah, another second serve return, and this time she just kind of fell towards the left trying to hit that forehand, and yeah, a couple of free points for Krejcikova that, well, were a bit of a gift, really. Yeah, be very frustrating for Coco to not break in this game. 4 break points and a couple key chances for sure. Krejcikova bossing this rally around, but both getting into some slice-a-row here. We'll see if Coco can get back into this fight. Or Krejcikova, though, just too savvy there. It's too good.
It's that backhand, it's been the money shot. And
yeah. That's a really tough first set from her to good composure on the first couple of break points, 15-40 down. It's those two bigger first serves. And then, yeah, I mean, really just very patient and controlled tennis from her. But Coco, she will regret not breaking serve, I think, in that game.
Yeah. And now we're in a position where the winner of the second set wins this group.
Mm-hmm. Which would set up Krejcikova versus, if so, Krejcikova wins this in straights, that would set up a Krejcikova versus Zhang.
Yep.
Final. Which would be a rematch of the WTA 500 final in Zhangzhou last year, which Zhang won 6-4. That was the one where she did the karaoke in her speech after winning.
How could I forget?
But
and it would be, if Krejcikova wins this in straight, it'd be Gauff versus Sabalenka, which there have been a few meetings of.
Yeah. So if it plays out like that, my feeling is they'll want to put that second, maybe.
Yeah, I would assume so.
More prime time for the big TV audiences.
Yeah.
I would think so. Yeah, I would think they would want to put that second, maybe.
And I suppose if you put Zhang on first, then the Asian viewers are more likely to, the Chinese viewers are more likely to catch her up.
Yeah, but I don't think it's super obvious. Like, I'd be interested to see the schedule still. But I think that's what makes sense, right? Like, Sabalenka Gauff tied at 4-4 in their head-to-head. A couple of really interesting matches this year. Australian Open, really tight first set. It's a good second set as well. Definitely the heart of Sabalenka was pushed en route to that title.
Yes. Louis in the chat asking what we think is going to happen. And honestly, I kind of think Krejcikova's going to win it in straight sets now. I don't know why, I've just got a feeling.
You know, I have a similar feeling, and that has to do with that last game.
Yeah, me too.
Coming through a game like that, I mean, that's gonna like just take so much off your shoulder. Just also knowing that Coco is, even though she's very good at kind of resetting and putting disappointments behind her, like it's got to be lingering a little bit, right? That she didn't get that game. But let's see. Plus, I also think her serve has been in much more jeopardy the last few times, and Krejcikova just looks so smooth and comfortable right now in the zone a little bit. So we'll see.
I think this first game is very important for Gauff to hold.
Yeah. Yes, that is true. It's better for her if Iga goes out. But yeah, I mean, then again, Iga having to play Sabalenka in these conditions in the semis.
Dave predicted Krejcikova to do similarly to what she did against Swiatek and perhaps bottle a lead.
It's always possible.
Yes.
Yeah, then about to kind of reset here the last couple of points. Yeah, very important game if Gauff can hold here.
But I could definitely see a situation where Gauff wins this set, which would confirm a place at the top of the group, and then Krejcikova goes on to win the third, because from that point, Krejcikova is the one with a big incentive.
Yeah. I think for Iga, the biggest thing is that she lost to Coco in straights. So that just makes it, not in her control anymore. Because when you win a match at 3 and then you lose one in straights, and even if you win the other one, she would have had to win a set basically against Coco, and then she'd be in a better position. But Coco getting her second win in 13 meetings, or I guess 13 meetings. Yeah, my feed is just showing those couple of breakpoints that Coco will rule for sure. Though I have to say, Krejcikova did really well for about, I guess there were 4 breakpoints, right? I mean, there was really one where like backhand return that she could have made, the second serve return.
Yeah, there's a reason why Krejcikova is ranked 1 in terms of breakpoints saved this tournament so far.
Yeah. I love Krejcikova's response to someone on Twitter when they asked her how did she win Wimbledon.
Yeah, she said by winning 7 matches.
Yeah, by winning 7 matches in a row.
I mean, she's not wrong.
I know, yeah. She's definitely got a fun Twitter presence.
Yes. I like that when players are engaging with the fans, even if... And I'm pretty sure, I actually think the person she responded to was a fan of hers. But
yeah, she was.
It's kind of like tongue-in-cheek.
Which made it funny, actually. It wasn't like just some hater. It was a fan. But although this game, I don't know, she lost her timing a little bit. Oh, Yeah, there's just two really wild mistakes from 15-0.
2 break points for Gauff.
You know, one off the forehand, one off the backhand. Neither were very close. So, yeah, Gauff really 2 more break chances. See if Krejcikova can just do her thing and keep saving them, because that's what she's been doing all tournament. Second serve return. Interesting. Both pairs going down the middle a lot in this rally. And then Krejcikova with that little squash shot again on the forehand, forcing Gauff to hit up a little bit and not quite accelerating. So that's 1 break point saved. Once again, Gauff read it. She was on the ball. I think frustrated again that it's one of those returns that she just keeps pushing long a little bit. There was one like that in the 12th game of the first set. 2 more break points saved for Krejcikova. Wow, what a point at deuce.
It's that backhand every time. It just feels like it's so reliable.
Yeah. Also, that slice direction changed down the tee, and then you knew that Gauff was going to lift up a little bit, so Krejcikova just stayed in the backhand corner and then just, wow, like really just drove through that backhand with such ease. Yeah, just very smooth production of power. Wow, what a hold there. Gauff once again, like these sort of slower second serves to her forehand, actually, kind of making Coco overthink a little bit.
Yeah, they catched her out a bit, but Krejcikova just keeps on fighting her way out of these games.
Yeah. It's impressive. I'm just seeing some stats. First set 40%, second serve return points won for Coco. And just in general, she's going for a bit too much on those second serve returns, which is kind of different to how she played against Iga, right? Against Iga, she was playing a lot more controlled on the second serve returns, but just very safe, higher over the net, going towards bigger targets. Whereas here, she's kind of overhitting these. So,
oh yeah, the WTA Finals Riyadh account slipped up and thought that Swiatek had qualified for the semi-finals.
Oh boy!
And at the moment, it's actually looking not to be the case.
And they still haven't deleted it. It's been up there for 2 hours. Oh gosh, yeah, I saw this one yesterday. The Sky Sports. That definitely looks like Winner Bakina, right? Because they look so alike.
You can definitely tell when things have been done by just sports journalists over tennis journalists.
Yeah. Okay, well, if Gauff can hold rather easily here. 40-15, but she makes it a little complicated with a double fault. This time goes after it though, but good news for Coco is that she's in a lot of these Krejcikova service games. Bad news is she's not taking the chances, but we'll see what happens after this. It does at least hold here.
It's just whether if she continues to have these missed opportunities, if it starts to play on the mind, and because I kind of would back Krejcikova to take her opportunities pretty quickly, whereas Gauff has had so many.
Mm-hmm.
I don't actually know the figures, but
yeah.
A quick
I'm gonna look up the breakpoint save number because I feel like it's got to be a very good ratio for Krejcikova right now. So for the match, she is 7 for 8 breakpoint saved. That feels right. Gauff is 1 for 3. And just in general, Krejcikova is winning a lot of second serve points, 65%, whereas Coco is winning 42%. I think those are the two key stats so far, really, in the match. Because I mean, Gauff has been serving well, right? Like 9 aces, she's winning a lot of first serve points. Like when she is making the first serve, she's been a little more effective than Krejcikova has so far. But it's that second serve return that's kind of letting Coco down a little bit, and then it's also Krejcikova's clutchness, break points down. Yeah, Cameron Norrie in the semifinals of Mets. We talked about that earlier. So definitely a bit of a running joke in our chat about the October GOAT, because Cam won the Indian Wells edition in 2021. The fall edition held in October.
He's definitely needed this week.
Yeah. In general, indoor hard courts haven't been his best surface at all. So, if he wins the title this week, that'll be pretty big because he's out of the top 50 right now. He didn't play missed like 2 or 3 months of the year after Bastad. And of course, he had that good win over Draper in the second round of Wimbledon.
Yes.
Oh yeah, getting his months confused. That's right, because it is November.
Another poor forehand return from Gauff there, and she knows it. You can tell by the reaction.
Yeah, again, it's one of those second serve return points that she's just not like. If I'm Gauff, I'm taking a lot out of that return. Like I'm not trying to go for that much. She's trying to almost blast her way through that shot, and I don't think that's the right approach. She kind of does the same thing at deuce, but it ends up working out for her. Or does it? Yeah, it does. It's that volley comes in. She's a little frustrated right now. I feel like some of these second serve returns are just coming out of frustration too. Obviously understandable given the missed opportunities. Because Krejcikova is not having a very good first serve percentage in this set, or nor in the back end of the first. So that's the frustrating part for Coco, is that she's not making Krejcikova play enough on these second serve points. Let's see what she does here, though. At times she did try to rip it, but again, that's a better rip because it's to a safer target. She wasn't trying to like blast it. It definitely felt more controlled. So we go from 30 love to 30 all. Ooh, that time, yeah, again, she tries to kind of blast it, but this time Krejcikova was so good at just redirecting that forehand down the line. And she gets Gauff off balance, and Gauff doing the splits there, just trying to somehow absorb that pace. Man, how quickly that ball came back.
Yeah, there was a lot. I think people underestimate Krejcikova's power.
I mean, because it's just so smooth and effortless, right?
Yeah.
Like she's took a huge swing there or anything. She just just bunted it. And wow, I gotta say that's a good hold there from 30-0 to get out of
Yeah.
it. So
I think Krejcikova will be grateful to get through a game there without having to save any break points.
yes,
And now gets the chance to perhaps put the pressure on Gauff's serve.
yeah. So they're getting new balls. So Krejcikova changing her racket. Yeah, Ortega says aces galore for Gauff. Yes, that's her 10th of the match. In general, she's having a good day on her first serve.
Yeah. Up to 71% first serve win percentage.
Yeah. It's these redirects from Krejcikova, though, down the line, especially on the forehand and on the backhand, really, a lot of them in the first set. But that's what she does so well. She just takes that incoming ball at pace and just, kind of uses your power and then just goes down the line with it. And it's very effective on these courts. But just still pretty quick, pretty slick. Another very good first serve. It's the one shot right now that Gauff can kind of rely on. She's in a bit of trouble, that first serve. She's found a nice rhythm on it. Ooh, that's another one of those forehands. Just kind of got away from her. Yeah. Definitely a little bit negative right now in terms of her body language. Noticed that a little bit with Sabalenka yesterday as well. Like just kind of uncharacteristically a bit out of it, body language wise. A bit frustrated. She lost that first set. She was 3-1 up against Rybakina.
I suppose it's weird for tennis players as well when they're so used to playing tournaments where if you lose, you're out. But in both of their positions,
I have to assume that plays a role, definitely. When it comes
if both Sabalenka and Gauff lose, Sabalenka did lose, Gauff is currently losing, they're still going to be in the tournament.
I know, yeah. It is a little bit kind of like, because you're already qualified, so it's kind of like, I want to keep that momentum going. I do definitely still want to go 3-0, but then if I'm not playing as well, then that's a little frustrating because then you hope to play better the next day.
Yeah.
Whereas, in a normal tournament, you just go on. It's you can kind of keep that rhythm going, and there's no, like having to play when you lose. Come back and play the next day is a little bit challenging, I imagine.
But yeah, I suppose it's sometimes you just see it work well for if someone plays in qualifying and gets lucky loser. Sometimes it works to their advantage, but
yeah,
momentum is big in sport, and especially tennis.
Mm-hmm.
midway through this second set. I felt it feels like a big moment.
It does, yes.
Krejcikova didn't face a break point in that last game for the first time in a while, but it's a poor start to this service game at love 15. Backhand slice going straight into the net.
Yeah. Krejcikova smiling after that point. It's kind of, again, just like that easy power just pushes Coco back and unsettles her.
We've seen that a few times from Gauff. Forehand straight into the middle of the net.
Yeah, it's some slower. It's mostly happening on second serves, but also some slower first serves, right? But that serve was what, 150? Yeah. Gauff actually doing a little bit better when it comes to the pacier serves. Able to return those, but it's like been a bit of an issue for her to get the point started sometimes. She has a look. Although not there, that serve was very good from Krejcikova.
I think that was just her third ace of this match.
Yeah.
She's
Gauff with 10?
Yeah. Yeah, Gauff's ace count is significantly higher.
Oh, but Krejcikova hits back-to-back aces there. So
Oh.
what a ridiculous that.
That is really as comfortable a hold as we've seen in a while for Krejcikova.
Yeah. Krejcikova's elbow has been a bit of a on and off thing. I think that was the injury she had at the start of the year as well. After the Australian Open for a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just more like a precautionary thing, just to because a lot of players have them.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be an issue this tournament for sure.
No, the only issue in the first match seemed to be the back. She was stretched out a bit, particularly in the later parts of the second set, and a lot of the third set.
Yeah. Yeah, at that point I kind of worried for her because I thought, oh, I mean, if this thing is flared up, maybe that will mean that she can't continue on.
Yeah.
But I think she dealt with it pretty well, and then it's pretty good since won her last 3 sets. Look off making first serves in this game, huh? Oh, but decided to take an overhead there. It was a really fast first serve, 195. Yeah, the forehand unforced errors definitely for Gauff piling up. She's hit 30 forehand unforced errors in this match. Krejcikova just 10. I suppose that's a stat.
And I do wonder how many of those were on the return.
I know. Yeah, we interested to know because I feel like almost like we'll be surprised if like half of them were just off the return. Like, there's even some first serve returns that she missed on the forehand that you can definitely count as unforced. But regardless, hasn't had to face a break point in this set, and she does hold at 15, so she's keeping the pressure on. First serve has been firing, 11 aces so far. She holds for 4-3. Yeah, very, very fascinating match, this one. This is the final group stage match as well of the tournament. And yeah, it's an important one.
Yeah, it's nice. It actually has a lot riding on it. It has a lot of meaning to it rather than just a complete dead rubber.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in some ways, the Rybakina Sabalenka was also a dead rubber for both. But it's obviously it's one of those like rivalries that's been that's really taken off since the start of 2023.
Yeah, I think that match can get away with being a dead rubber more than this one. I think this one is a lot more enticing. Now it's got an incentive for both players, and obviously Swiatek's feature in this tournament is riding on it.
Yes.
In theory, Krejcikova is just 3 games away from knocking Iga Swiatek out.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still a long way to go.
First, for every round robin match you win, you also get 200 ranking points, and you get $350,000 in prize money.
Yeah, I believe I saw that if Krejcikova wins this match, she'll go back into the top 10.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And overtake Collins.
Yeah. Collins, of course, one of the alternates at this tournament, along with Kasatkina.
Yeah, I was quite surprised that Collins chose to go as an alternate, but...
Well, I was also surprised that Navarro didn't go.
Yeah, I think I read that she's still trying to overcome an illness of sort. Because I assumed she would be there. And obviously, had she been there, she would have taken Pegula's place.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really good point here. 15 love. Gauff, I thought, did very well with the backhand down the line, but Krejcikova again with a little squash shot, defensive shot on the forehand. Yeah, Krejcikova is definitely one of those players that's pretty savvy with that forehand continental grip, huh?
We've been saying about Gauff's forehand errors, but that was a nice forehand winner there, right into the corner.
Yeah, nice winner there.
Gets the score back at 30-15.
That's first serve just missed, so. Oh wow, really just. And this time Gauff backed up a little bit on the second return. She tried to play it a lot safer. But that's what happens also when you hit it too short. Krejcikova was going to be all over it.
Yeah, I mean,
this was in the service box.
It was a huge forehand from Krejcikova.
Yeah, the return was in the service box, so Krejcikova just doing a good job there, generating all the pace. Hitting a winner. That's another second serve point that she's won. That could prove to be a big one. Especially if the next point she plays, it's a really good combination. First serve out wide Forehand down the line, comes forward.
Puts it away.
Yeah.
And we've gone from having quite a few, games where there were breakpoint opportunities and the returner was really getting into it to actually a more, I think, 2 or 3 more solid service games.
Yeah. The second set has felt more like a servers contest.
And it's going to be interesting now to see who will get that. I mean, Krejcikova looks like she's having a fantastic time. She's smiled on multiple occasions.
Yeah.
Just smiling there in the returner's position.
She is just really relishing this role, huh?
You wouldn't think that there's so much riding on it.
I know. She's just really playing very freely. Like, look at this second serve here right now. She just kind of charged forward and just, yeah, she's really enjoying herself.
She'll definitely be enjoying that return there.
Oh, and this is trouble for Coco right now. Because, yeah, it's like that forehand return with the continental grip, forcing Coco to come forward. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this point right here. Oh wow, Krejcikova had a good look at that pass, huh? I mean,
Yeah,
Coco did go with the volley as well to just kind of get it deep and cover it, but I think Krejcikova had a good look there.
I think there's a bit of a missed opportunity. Would have given her 3 break points.
Yeah.
Dave saying that Navarro was fed up of showing success and called it a year. It's funny.
Oh, that is a very funny comment, Dave. Second serve at 30-all. Huge moment in this match.
Yeah.
Oh, and what do we get? We get a double fault.
It's the worst time, but that's the moment getting to Gauff, perhaps.
Yeah. Coco going pretty quickly in between these points. 30-40 though. Let's see. She makes the first serve. She's in this point. Goes back behind Krejcikova. Krejcikova absorbs the pace and she hits a forehand and she hits a backhand cross-court winner, and that was a beauty.
Wow.
Wow.
That backhand is unbelievable. I feel like I've noticed how good it is, but today I've it's so good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is why I love this tournament, because it's just like, I mean, you have an idea of like who you think is going to finish 1 and 2 in the groups, but just like the way it plays out every single time with like the sets and like the mentality when you're 2-0 up in a group, and having to play after bouncing back from a loss, and you win one match in spades, you win one, lose one, another 1 and 3. Like, there's just so many permutations here, and I knew this was going to happen with a group like this with Gauff, Krejcikova, Swiatek, and Pegula. Is just like a group that feels pretty evenly matched overall, like in general. So it was, yeah. Whereas I think kind of in the other group, you could be like, okay, well, Sabalenka's probably going to finish first, right? And then after that, like, you kind of know Paulini's an underdog, even though she's had an awesome year. And then it's basically between Zhang and Rybakina, but Rybakina had so many question marks coming in, she hadn't played in over 2 months. So
yeah,
I think it was perhaps easier to pick 2 players to come out of that group, whereas this one, like, with a little more certainty and confidence, whereas this one, you kind of were like, wow, Krejcikova wild factor. Swiatek hasn't played in so long. Gauff, you have the losing head-to-heads against Pegula and Iga, and it's just like chaos.
Krejcikova's got to serve it out now, and if she does serve it out here, she will not only knock Iga Swiatek out, but she will top the group.
Yeah. And this is the game, if you remember, in the first set that she got broken.
Yes. There'll definitely be some nerves, I'm sure.
So let's see if Coco can just make Iga play a little bit more. and play it a bit safer because Krejcikova can get tight closing out matches sometimes. Even in the Wimbledon final, the last game was quite tight. Save a couple of break points against Paulini. She all of a sudden couldn't make a single backhand in that game. All right, so Gauff could start here. Love 30.
Big pressure on Krejcikova's serve now to pull this game back and she gets that one and gets back to 15-30.
Also, contrast in terms of Krejcikova takes a lot longer in between points. Gauff tends to be a lot quicker.
Yes.
15-30 though. Be a big moment. Good first serve return there from Gauff. That time the pace on the serve did not bother her. 169. And yeah, Krejcikova just a little tight on that backhand. So a couple break back points. But she's been really good at saving break points in this match.
Yeah, she has.
As we've touched on. So if she can do that again here, that would be pretty impressive. Oh, but once again, Gauff for that forehand return, which just, that's the shot for her this match. That's got to be just crawling at her, you know.
Yeah, she'll know where this match has gone if she doesn't break back here.
Yeah. I actually think the forehand in the rally has been okay. Like, it hasn't been stellar, but it's these returns that are really costing her. Well, she'll have a second serve look here. And she's going to want to be making this forehand, but not overhitting it. So 30-40. She gets the backhand though. This is what she wants. She's got Krejcikova defending. They're going backhand to backhand. Trading backhand to backhand. Krejcikova mixing it up with a slice. It just catches the back of the line. That's so deep. Oh my goodness, that slice from Krejcikova just like floating, and it just catches the back of the line. And Gauff was having to lift up on that forehand on her back foot, and
it's like 9 out of 10 breakpoint save now.
Yeah, I did think for a while that backhand was going to float a little long, but it just caught the line.
Yeah, Krejcikova on breakpoint down is just another beast. Different level.
Yeah. Another really deep forehand cross court exchange. You know, just her timing is just when it's on. My goodness.
Gauff is frustrated, but Krejcikova will be very pleased to have match point.
Yeah.
To top this is the orange group, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I always forget the names, but
to top the orange group. Yeah. And to knock Iga Swiatek out.
Okay, she'll have a second serve here. Yeah, definitely the breakpoint saved is going to be a big story in this match. Second serve return points, breakpoint saved, and forehand on forced errors. Those are your key 3 stats if Krejcikova wins. Oh, there you go. But that was much better on the forehand return department. 148 down the tee, or I mean down the middle rather. But safer, more margin. Tense times here. A deuce. Krejcikova does well to kind of find the first serve. She's got Gauff pinned in the forehand corner, and again, that's always the play, right? Like, go back behind Coco, make her kind of lift on that forehand, push her back behind the baseline. It's so effective for Krejcikova, that forehand cross court. So Match point number 2. Oh, and Krejcikova just that backhand was way forward. So
Yeah, the backhand's been the real reliable shot for Krejcikova, but that was
that's just nerves.
yeah, it has to be.
Second serve here though. You can definitely feel the tension in her arm. Oh, okay, but that one missed. Yeah, she's had a lot of success with those deeper shots this game to Gauff's forehand. Once again, hitting that slice earlier on in the rally, but this time she overcooks the forehand, gets a little tight again on it. So as a result, Coco has great points. You can really feel the difference when Krejcikova gets tight because all of a sudden that smooth, easy power, it just becomes, when the arm is tight, she does tend to miss by a lot. Oh my goodness, though, that was a really good combination. 171 out wide and then forehand into the court. That's really got to be a nerve easer.
Yeah, I mean, Dave was saying how she couldn't buy a first serve, and you're right. She was really struggling to buy that first serve, but she really found it then when she needed it the most.
And when you save so many break points like that in the tournament, it gives you so much confidence because all of a sudden now it's just like any other point, and you have that mental image in your mind of how to play them. So
I mean, the only time she has been broken in this match was during this same game in the last set.
Yeah, that was her only breakup serve, right? Yeah, that's the only time she's been broken, which is amazing considering she's not had as high of a first serve percentage. And okay, once again with that slice down the line to try to change up the pattern, but this is it.
The break point for Gauff.
Yeah, she's surely got to get one of these points, right? Like one of these has to go her way. That's what she's thinking right now. Like just take one of these 8.5 minute service game here. That first serve just missed. So second serve, break point down. Oh my goodness. Once again, that forehand. Nice, bringing Gauff in. This time Gauff misses the volley though. She did anticipate it. She knew Krejcikova was going cross with this pass. But credit to Krejcikova because that was actually a pretty tough volley. She made Coco hit.
Yeah.
And Coco just couldn't quite control it. So pushes it.
I've lost track of the breakpoint save now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
definitely double figures.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, and this time Krejcikova going for a bit more on that return, but it was a good serve by Krejcikova, well placed at deuce. So match point. She has match point against Iga Swiatek and Coco Gauff. How about that? Okay, second serve here. What a final game this is.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, and this time, once again, that second serve return letting Gauff down. But Krejcikova will love that win because she's topped the group. She's through to the semifinals. She's 2-0 now against Coco. Coco still goes through, so we have Coco versus Arena tomorrow. And it looks like they had a really nice conversation at the net. I'd love to know what they were saying, but it was a very good spirited handshake. Coco very gracious, as always, and Krejcikova. What a win! What a win!
Yeah, big Swiatek's out, but that's the way the round robin works. And if you lose a match in straight sets, like you said, it always puts you at risk.
Yeah, exactly. And the main thing for Krejcikova's point of view is she won 65% of her second serve points, and that's a huge number in a match like this. Coco is a very quality returner, and also just the break points saved. I mean, 11 for 12 for the match, and just that final game as well. Saved so many break points. I even lost track of the count. I think she saved 4 at least. She would have saved at least 4 in the last game.
Yeah.
She of course got it done on her third match point. She was getting tight, but she found the return serves. And Coco, of course, will be disappointed in a few aspects of her game. I think she served pretty well, so that's a positive she can definitely take into tomorrow. The forehand unforced errors, she's definitely want to limit those. But I think a lot of those have definitely come on the return, as we've established, and just missed a few too many second serve returns, and I think that ended up really costing her. But really good effort nonetheless. And straight set 7-5, 6-4, but boy was it tight all the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so Krejcikova. She definitely was probably maybe the Rebecca, but that's different. Krejcikova was coming into this tournament with probably the worst form, and has now got a wonder group containing Swiatek, Gauff, and obviously Pegula / Krejcikova. It's so Krejcikova, and I don't think it even shocked me if she went to win this title. But yeah, now Swiatek's out this tournament, drops a lot of ranking points.
She is out of this tournament. Definitely. A bit of the thing with the round robin format, as we've established. If you lose one match in straights, you win 1 and 3. You win 1 and 2 like that. Sometimes it can happen. It's unfortunate to go 2 and 1 and not progress to the semis from her perspective. But she will get ready for the Billie Jean King Cup. That's going to be her next priority.
Yeah.
She's going to try to win that title for the first time and then have a really good off season. I don't think it's the worst thing for her. She won 2 matches here. She's played 70 matches on the year. She's won 61 of them. She got her 10th top 10 win this year. It was a nice way to kind of cap off her, regular season. So
I mean, Swiatek's won as many matches as every singles player, or as the most of any singles player in this round robin stage. It's just she's a victim of the way the permutations work, but like you said, she can just use it as a positive to move on to the Billie Jean King Cup finals and represent Poland, when I think we both think they've got a good chance of challenging for the title.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be her main goal. And then, just keep working with Wim Passett during the preseason. I think the semis are going to be pretty interesting now. You have Krejcikova against Jung, and you have Sabalenka versus Gauff.
Yeah, I think, Sabalenka Jung is probably in my eyes, the more likely of the finals, but we've seen that match a lot recently, and Sabalenka is got a big advantage on Jung, like she does most of her opponents, but it's whether Krejcikova can continue her good run at this tournament and perhaps upset the odds.
Yeah, definitely. Krejcikova 6-1. I mean, Sabalenka 6-1 against Krejcikova, 5-0 against Jung. So she's 11-1 combined against those two players. So those are the head-to-heads for Arena, but obviously the Coco match is completely different, and that's been competitive all the way through. So Coco is going to have to regroup after this one. Definitely a few things for her to improve on for tomorrow, but it's a completely different matchup, and one where I think she's going to be able to use her defense and her movement and athleticism a bit in a different sort of manner against Sabalenka's power. She's more used to that kind of game by now. She's played Sabalenka and Wuhan just very recently.
Yeah, I suppose it's interesting that going into that match, both Sabalenka and Gauff are going in off a loss, whereas Zheng and Krejcikova are both going in with the win. So it's an interesting dynamic.
Yes, for sure. And Krejcikova and Zhang, I believe they've only played once, and that was in the Zhengzhou final last year. It was won by Zhang 6-4 in the third. So, I mean, Zhang is definitely the one coming in with a little bit more rest. But I mean, I tell you, the confidence you get from saving those break points, getting through a win like that, most likely she's going to play second. Oh, wait, actually, no. We don't know that for sure. But yeah, she can just kind of run on the adrenaline. I mean, this match is just like for her to top the group, especially after that Iga loss and feeling pain in her back. It's definitely a turnaround.
Yeah, 100%. Very, very good from Krejcikova, and I think a lot of surprise given that she was struggling with her back in that first match and has really just shown no signs of that since.
Yeah, and yeah, I think we can wrap it up here. Unless you have any other kind of last minute thoughts.
No, I think we've covered it pretty well, and I suppose later on Damien and John can continue to analyse the semi-finals as well as the ATP finals draw that's recently taken place today. So yeah, that'll be coming up later on Talking Tennis.
Yep, make sure you tune in for that. That should be coming up in a few hours now. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Keep tuning in. These live comments are great. It always helps us to engage with them and cover different topics as we're doing these watch-alongs. And yeah, we got the Vaunt San Diego ticked as well. So as well as our usual other ticks. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks,
and
everyone.
thanks as always, Matt, for
yeah, cheers. It's been good.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.